Hi, I'm Avr. Today I have something really special inside this box, so let's actually open it and see what we got. Ta-da! Alright, so this is Tascam 234 sync cassette, professional cassette deck.
And here we go, we have the original brochure. And as you can see, the unit in all its glory. And we have other selection. I recognize the 133 and the 3-channel one. Really quite nice units, by the way. Those are very nice and quite rare right now. And yeah, there is all the description and everything. This is quite interesting. They show you the mechanism here. 3 motors here, servo controlled motors. What is actually interesting about this is the speed of the tape, because you know, if you want higher quality, higher headroom, and more high frequency response, you're gonna have or a better you know, heads, wider tracks, or you bump up the speed. That's what they have done. So they bump the speed from 1 7/8 inches per second to 3 3/4 inches per second, which is the fastest speed I've ever seen on a cassette. I'm thinking that you know, the tape is gonna actually run out pretty fast. So yeah, that's one disadvantage of that. This is a double head tape, so there is this one is the erase head, and this is the record and playback head in one. So 2 in 1 is, yeah, the quality will be a little bit lower, and it says that drift is minimized and reliability, yeah, it's all controlled, yeah, EQ, ferric oxide. The bias is especially high. It's 70 micro, and yeah, you can actually get the microphone instrument 1/4 inch jack in it, but yeah, it's just features. You can one nice thing is that the line in the RCA and the microphone instrument ports, the inputs, are actually mixed together with a mixer, so you can possibly have 8 tracks out of it, so 8 inputs really. So that's the characteristic, the specification. 2 heads, 4 track, 4 channels, 3 3/4 inches per second. You can actually there is a pitch control plus or minus 12%, which is quite a bit. Recording time 15 minutes. As you can see, it's really quite fast. Bias frequency is 100K. I was right. Standard recording level, it's 160 nanoweber. Tape flux. Frequency response, there we go, 20 to 20 kilohertz, 20 hertz. The electronics and the heads are 40 to 14 at 0 VU, at -10 is 40 to 16. And there we go, the total harmonic distortion, the THD, is 0.05% at 1 kilohertz, which is not bad at all. I mean, for a tape deck is not bad. Signal to noise with Dbx is better than 95 decibel. It's really quite nice. Without is yeah, better than 54, and that actually depends on the tape put in. Pretty good. Round flutter is very low, actually. It's very low. I really like this thing, and it's 0.04% RMS, which is you know, unnoticeable, really.
Oh, look at this! How cute is it? Ah, there's a tiny vacuum fluorescent display here. And obviously everything here comes from TIAC, from the heads to the VU meters. TIAC as well. And there we go, I removed all the covers, and as you can see, it's you know, it's pretty messy inside. I don't particularly love the cable management here, but you know, it's a classic 80s construction. All have used connectors everywhere, so it's nice and easy to service, I hope. And yeah, those are all labeled so as well, so it's a quite nice, neat layout here. So here is the power supply section here, for what I see. So there is a big transformer right there, TIAC, obviously, corporation. This is the power supply board with all the capacitors. I think those are all fine because, you know, those are great old Nippon Chemicon capacitors, 85 degrees rated, which is not bad. And under here there's a little heatsink for all the regulators, I think. And this bunch of loom of wires are all the rails coming out. And look at the transformer, has eight wires, 8 taps coming out from it. And I think here is the selection, so if you buy one of those, you can actually select between 110 and 230 volts, which is very nice. Obviously here is all the mechanism for the tape. We'll take a great look later, because I think that's the fault with this unit. Those are the 2 Dbx boards, so 2 channel each, and those are the noise reduction boards. This unit is built like a tank. I mean, just look at all the metal that went into this machine here. It's crazy. Alright, so this is the tape carrying mechanism, and as you can see, the rubber bands are all crusty and all melted, and ooh, they're sticky as well. And so I have to replace those. Oops, sorry. And yeah, I mean, that is really bad. And have to replace those. Already ordered the replacement parts, and they will arrive shortly. Here there are the transistors that drives the motor, and I don't know, those are the stop pulse, fast and take up. We have some potentiometers here for regulation of the actual speed, some calibration and stuff. So this is a one of those motors that you can actually find in VHS and stuff. Those are very nice, stable motors. Right there is a big flywheel on the bottom, and we have we have 3 motors for this thing, and I can actually see a pot right there, maybe to you know, for sensing the position and stuff of the tape. Alright, so those are the 2 Dbx noise reduction PCBs, and as you can see, those are 2 channel each. In fact, those are exactly identical. Those are split in 2, and you know, the channel is right there, and it's exactly identical. It's replicated to the other side. So as you can see, they are using some chips here. We have some custom chips from Dbx. Those are very interesting little SIP packages. Those are Dbx 1252, and those are VCAs for noise reduction systems, so voltage controlled amplifiers used in tape decks and other audio equipment from the datasheet for noise reduction, so especially designed, custom implemented for noise reduction. And here we have a dual op-amp, just a Mitsubishi 5218A dual operational amplifier, which obviously they share the same package right there. And we have other 2 Dbx custom Dbx 1253, and those are RMS level detectors for Dbx noise reduction systems. It's a very interesting custom boards, and as you can see, those are pre-modular as well, so they're designed to be, you know, cut right there. And you know, if you have a 2-channel tape deck, like a normal tape deck, you will cut the board in half and have only 2 channels. But this thing is 4 channels, so you gotta have 2 of those. And we have not populated parts right there. I don't really know what implementation should be there. And is this a day code on this chip here, 9905? And I'm afraid I'm not gonna be able to take this board out and show you in better condition, but because this is unfortunately all those wires, it's just a mess of wires, and they are all soldered, so I'm not gonna actually desolder everything. So, but I see here, as you can see, even on this board here, it's everything split. So as you can see, this is a single channel, so there are 4 channels here. It's pretty well laid out actually, and you can actually distinguish each channel from the component layout. And look at all those germanium diodes right there. They're like 3, 6, 8 germanium diodes. And as always, those are Japan Radio Corp's 4560Ds, dual channel low noise operational amplifiers, specially designed for, you know, audio application like this. And you probably find those in most of the Tascam TX equipment. And those ICs are tape input analog switches. So yeah, some unclassified manufacturer, but yeah, it's yeah, a special design for tape inputs and tape machines like that. And there is something quite interesting. You see those PCBs right there, and those are, you know, freestanding PCBs with nothing on it. And there is another one right there, and those are labeled as shield PCBs. So yeah, they went to the effort to, you know, make a PCB with ground only to shield this part from the you know, the rest of the PCB, which is quite novel. I mean, yeah, just use a PCB as shield. That's interesting. And those chips here are LM339Ns, and those are low power, low offset voltage quad comparators, and there are 2 of those right there. And we have some logic here on the on this PCB, which is probably the bias control PCB. And those are, sorry for the view, I can't really get this board out, but those are TC4011BPs, and those are quad 2 inputs NAND gates. And there is another one on another PCB, probably for you know, some logic on the front panel switches and stuff. And there is one for each channel, and those cans you see here on the bottom, those are probably the filters, and and I obviously have the schematic diagrams of the whole thing. And the first one is the Dbx Pcb. This is the diagram from one channel only, so you can actually see right there, this is the VCA here, the Dbx custom SIP package, the 1252 is right there, a bunch of transistors, all those transistors right there. And this is the operational amplifier, the 5218, it's right here. And right there is the RMS detector, so the Dbx 1253. And on this other schematic here, we have the microphone amplifier PCB here. It's just basic stuff, you know. Operational amplifiers for each channel is actually replicated, as you can see here. And this is the Avr Pcb. So it's the PCB that actually holds the actual potentiometers for the input, the output, and the pan. So yeah, just is just replicated here on all 4 channels. And here is the schematic for the RP PCB. So I presume this is the Rec and Play PCB. As you can see, and it's a little bit messy, and you can't really see it well because it's printed quite poorly, but I will actually put a better image on the screen. And as you can see, here is the all the parts here, the operational amplifiers right there, the transistors, the switches, but I can't see. This is the big board, by the way, and it's all replicated on 4 channels. We have a quite beautiful connection diagram right there. Look how many PCBs there. Those are the switch PCB, the control PCB, which is the other one, the power supply PCB, the control PCB, the sensor, the pitch control. You know, they have a circuit board for, you know, everything. This is the power supply, and as you can see, you know, the main stuff, 3 rectifiers, and 8 taps out of the transformer. But you can see some regulation, basic stuff, you know, a power supply stuff, and all the rails that we have. This is the control PCB. You can actually see here the heads. So we have the record and repro head, and the erase head right there. So we should actually be able to see the oscillator for the erase head is somewhere here, and the bias is also here, so they should actually do everything on that board for the biasing and the control for the heads. Last but not least is the meter PCB, which is yeah, just some meters and some lights. So now I checked everything here, and the mains and the capacitors, and if it's something badly wrong, but it seems all okay, so I'm gonna pair this thing up for the first time, so finger crossed. And yeah, we have lights here, we have the vacuum fluorescent display, just showing something. Stop, play, yeah, the lights are working, and yeah, we have some, oh yeah, this is the meter Q, and those are the functions. So yeah, they are all working fine. And we have, I think, a win, because I'm actually sending a track, and it actually works, and I can actually hear it with headphones, and it works perfectly fine. I mean, even the peak meter is all perfectly good. It actually works. It only needs belt replacement. Hopefully the heads are still good. That something that I cannot really test right now, and it seems like has been used very little, because you know, there is no real sign of very hard use. I mean, usually the heads and the pinch roller, and also the capstan here, is a little bit ruined when it's has been used for a long time, and also the heads, but the heads seems like brand new. I mean, geez, that's really something. And also the pinch roller is not that bad at all. I mean, alright, I think that's it for this teardown. And so yeah, hope you enjoyed this you know, look inside a Tascam 234 sync cassette 4-track player recorder. It's a beautiful piece of equipment, very well done, and I think if you are into, you know, recording, and if you love tape and cassettes, this is really a good piece of equipment that you can actually get for a very low price. So yeah, if you can, get one. So again, hope you enjoyed. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.